In 1995, in one of the Arab countries, a family consisting of 3 sons, along with their father and mother, were living together. The oldest son was 20 years old, the second was 15, and the youngest was 7. The oldest son of the family is the one telling this story, and the first thing he said was, "Venus." Venus? Who is Venus? Everything started when my second brother poured boiling water into the drainage channel, and from that day on, we never tasted any happiness. We would wake up and find our clothes thrown all over the house, or see our clothes thrown inside the bathroom, or find our clothes torn to pieces, or find our dishes and statues shattered on the floor. We couldn't understand what was happening. We said maybe it was the cats, or maybe our little brother did it. After all, little kids are playful. Every time something happened and we forgot about it, a new incident would occur. Until one day, my mom heard some noises from inside the bathroom. Unclear noises. My mom went and told my dad, and she was very scared. My dad got up and went toward the bathroom, but found nothing, and told my mom, "Maybe you imagined it. There's nothing here." Until one night, my mom wanted to go to the bathroom, and it was around 2 a.m. When she tried to open the bathroom door, she saw that it was locked, as if someone was inside. She knocked on the bathroom door. My brother answered, "It's me, Mom. I'll come out in a little bit." My mom then went to the room where my 2 brothers were sleeping. When she reached the room, she was shocked, completely frozen. She saw my brother sleeping in his bed. Then, who was the one inside the bathroom? My mom got scared. She woke my brother up and said, "When did you come out of the bathroom? When did you come out that I didn't see you?" My brother woke up, barely opening his eyes, and said, "Mom, what are you saying? What would I be doing in the bathroom? I've been asleep since 9. And now you're telling me I was in the bathroom?" Again, fear took over my mom, and she went to my dad and told him. But again, my father didn't believe her. "You're imagining things again." My dad went toward the bathroom, opened the door, and there was nothing there. Everything was normal. At this point, my mom was confused and lost. She realized that behind all these events was the Jinn themselves. Yes, Jinn. She told this to my father, and he began to suspect that the reason behind all this was indeed Jinn. Until one day we heard the screams of my brother. We all ran toward him, and when we reached him, he was looking toward the bathroom, terrified. When we looked toward the bathroom, we saw that it was catching fire. The washing machine and the small room beside it were burning. We immediately called the firefighters. As soon as they put out the fire, they were shocked. There was no reason for the fire. Not even a power cable was plugged in. And here, our suspicion turned into certainty that this was the work of Jinn. 2 days later, again, the bathroom and the adjoining room caught fire. Even though the place had already burned before, still the fire spread everywhere. Again, the firefighters came and extinguished it, and again, when they checked, they found no reason behind the fire. My father said, "We can't stay here anymore. This place caught fire for the second time without any reason." We packed all our belongings and stayed at my uncle's house for 3 days until we found a new house and moved into it. We then said, "Thank God our problem with the Jinn is over." They wanted us to leave the house, so we left. There will be none of this in the new house. But all these thoughts changed in our minds when one day my brother suddenly started screaming, "Help me! My bed is catching fire!" We all rushed to his room and opened the door. We didn't see anything. My dad went to him and said, "Son, calm down. Nothing is happening. You're okay and we're all with you." But my brother said, "I swear my bed was burning. My whole bed was full of fire." At first we thought he was imagining things. Maybe because of the fire in the old house, he was hallucinating that his room was on fire. But afterwards, something happened that made us realize something strange was taking place. One day, my mom went into her room and saw the curtains catching fire. Out of fear, she started screaming, "Help! Help! Fire!" And when we reached her and entered the room, we saw no trace of fire. At that point, we became certain that the Jinn wanted us, not the house. But I don't know why my dad again thought we should change the house. And once again, we moved to another neighborhood and another house. But unfortunately, all those events kept happening again, until one day we woke up to the screams of my brother. We went to his room, but he wasn't there. We found him inside the bathroom, lying on the floor. We lifted him up and took him to his room. When we lifted him, his body was ice cold, and he was extremely frightened. When he lay down in his bed, he opened his eyes and said, "Where is she? Where did she go?" We asked him, "Who?" He said, "I saw a woman. Very terrifying. She told me you'll pay for what you did. She had thick hair, her face was black, her nails were long, her eyes were elongated. She came close to me, grabbed me, and said she would kill me. I screamed here and closed my eyes, and when I opened them, I was beside you." My parents were very upset. They said, "What do these Jinn want from us? What did we ever do to them? Why are they tormenting us?" From the next day on, my brother was no longer normal and began doing strange things. He talked to himself, ate excessively, stayed in the bathroom for a very long time, and showered with his clothes on, insulted my parents, and changed a lot. From his behavior, we realized that a Jinn had entered my brother's body. And when we became sure, one day my mom turned on the Quran in the house. As she always did, it was normal. But that day, my brother angrily came and broke the cassette player and said to my mom, "Stop it, I'm sick of this. You play Quran every day. I don't want to listen to Quran." Even though my brother himself used to play Quran before, we became certain this behavior wasn't his, and that it was the Jinn doing this. My father said, "Don't worry, I know a religious sheikh. Anyone who has a Jinn inside their body, he can treat them." So my father went to the sheikh and told him my brother's story and begged him to come home with him. The sheikh agreed and said, "Don't worry." The next day, the religious sheikh came, and as soon as he entered the house, he started reciting some verses from the Quran. While he was reciting, the curtains in the house began to move. It was a very frightening sight. Here the sheikh turned to my dad and said, "You are not alone in this house. Someone is living with you. Jinn and devils, the kind that torment human beings. But with God's permission, I will remove these Jinn and devils from this house." The sheikh went to my brother, and when my brother saw him, he started trembling and said to him, "What do you want? Why did you come?" The sheikh said, "What do you want? Why are you tormenting them?" Here my brother's voice changed and said to the sheikh, "If you don't leave, I will kill you and everyone in this house." The sheikh turned to us and said, "I need your help. Hold your brother. Don't be afraid and don't let go, no matter what happens." My cousins and I, who were standing there, all went and held my brother. The sheikh started reciting the Quran. As long as he recited, My brother tried to break free from us. Little by little, my brother's voice changed. His voice became thin, the voice of a woman. The sheikh asked, "Who are you?" She replied, "It's none of your business." The sheikh continued reciting. My brother's face gradually turned angry, and with that female voice she said, "Get out of here, leave this house." The sheikh said, "I will not leave this house unless you leave this boy's body." My brother began screaming. The sheikh asked again, "Who are you?" She replied in a thin, husky voice, "I am Venus. My name is Venus." The sheikh asked again, "What do you want from this boy?" Venus replied, "He hurt me. He burned me. I was asleep and he poured boiling water on me. Just as he hurt me, I want to hurt him. I will hurt all of them. I want to take revenge." The sheikh asked, "All right, Venus, what is your religion?" She replied, "I am Jewish." The sheikh said, "Don't you know that the Lord does not approve of harming anyone? Why are you hurting this servant of God?" Venus said, "He hurt me. He burned my face and half my body." The sheikh said, "He didn't do it on purpose. He didn't know you were there, and he didn't see you. If he had seen you, he wouldn't have done it. Now you must leave this boy's body." Venus said, "I will not leave." The sheikh told her, "If you don't leave, I will keep reciting the Quran until you burn." The sheikh started reciting the Quran, and after a few minutes, Venus began crying. "Stop, stop it, I'm burning. I will leave his body." The sheikh said, "I will not stop until you promise me to leave this boy's body and stay away from this house and family." Venus said, I promise I will leave and never return." The sheikh said, "All right, now leave." Venus said, "I will leave through his eyes." The sheikh said, "No, you must leave through his toes." The sheikh closed my brother's eyes and said, "Hurry, leave through his toes." And finally Venus left. We felt my brother calm down and fall into a deep sleep. When he woke up, he saw all of us around him. He was shocked and said, "What is the sheikh doing here?" My father told him the whole story. After that, the sheikh asked my father to constantly play the Quran in the house and to begin everything we do with God's name, and whenever we want to pour hot water anywhere, to mention God's name first. And that is how Venus left our lives and we returned to our normal life.